IronWill HFY is built around one principle: every story should give the viewer something worth their time. Our goal is not simply to publish science fiction videos, but to create immersive long-form experiences filled with mystery, discovery, courage, danger, and human determination. Every video is developed with deliberate care. We do not treat a story as an attractive title followed by a long narration. Each episode is shaped through a hands-on creative process, choosing the core idea, building the setting, developing characters, designing the conflict, placing key revelations, refining the pacing, and making sure the major details connect naturally to the final outcome. A small clue introduced early may become essential later. An abandoned spaceship is never just an old vessel. It needs a history, a reason it was forgotten, traces of its former crew, damaged systems, hidden secrets, and a compelling reason why the protagonist refuses to leave it behind. That craftsmanship is at the heart of IronWill HFY. We want every episode to feel like a story carefully told to a real listener, not content produced simply to fill a schedule. If you have ever wondered what might happen if an ordinary human bought a warship the entire galaxy considered worthless, answered a distress signal that had been transmitting for centuries, or repaired a machine alien engineers had declared impossible to save, this channel was created for you. IronWill HFY explores stories within the HFY, humanity, fuck yeah, science fiction tradition, a genre that examines what makes humanity distinctive when placed among civilizations that may be older, stronger, or far more technologically advanced than Earth. But humanity's strength in our stories is not measured only by weapons or military power. Sometimes it is curiosity, sometimes it is compassion, sometimes it is adaptability, sometimes it is the stubborn refusal to abandon something everyone else has already given up on, and sometimes it is simply the willingness to try one more time. That spirit defines IronWill. Many of our stories revolve around a theme we find endlessly fascinating: things the galaxy has abandoned, but humans still see value in: a battleship sold for scrap, a cruiser no one dares to purchase, a forgotten starship hidden inside an old hangar, a damaged fighter dismissed by every engineer who examines it, a colossal vessel left behind by a civilization that disappeared centuries ago. To the galaxy, these things are finished. Then a human arrives. Perhaps it is a young mechanic, an engineer with nowhere else to go, or simply someone curious enough to examine what everyone else has ignored. From that moment, the real story begins. The most interesting question is rarely, how powerful is the ship? The deeper questions are, why was it abandoned? Who built it? What happened to its crew? Why were parts of its memory erased? Why is one sealed compartment still drawing power? And why does the ship respond to a human? That is where mystery, adventure, and science fiction begin to merge. IronWill HFY places special emphasis on engineers, mechanics, technicians, and ordinary people who know how to fix broken things. Many science fiction heroes are soldiers, commanders, or chosen warriors. Our stories often begin with someone carrying a toolbox, someone who looks at a machine everyone else has declared dead and asks, what would it take to make this work again? That question can change everything. A civilian transport may become a warship, an obsolete engine may exceed its original limits, a derelict vessel may become a fortress, a dormant artificial intelligence may awaken after centuries of silence, a forgotten technology may alter the balance of power across the galaxy. But the transformation matters only if the journey feels earned. We want viewers to experience the failures, experiments, discoveries, repairs, and small victories that lead to the final result. The machine should not become powerful simply because the story requires it. The audience should understand why. Another major theme is how alien civilizations perceive humanity. Imagine a civilization that has catalogued thousands of intelligent species and believes it understands biology, warfare, survival, and technology. Then it encounters humans. At first, they appear unimpressive: no natural armor, no claws, no extraordinary lifespan, no obvious biological advantage. Then the reports begin. Humans survive injuries that would incapacitate other species. They adapt to hostile environments. They turn ordinary tools into unexpected solutions. They form strong bonds with companions. Machines, artificial intelligences, and sometimes even former enemies, and perhaps most unsettling of all, humans often continue trying when the probability of success is nearly zero. That is one of the most compelling ideas in HFY. The genre does not need to claim that humanity is always the strongest species in the universe. A more interesting question is, what would make an advanced civilization completely reconsider humanity? Sometimes the answer is endurance, sometimes intelligence, sometimes improvisation, sometimes loyalty, sometimes anger, sometimes mercy. The strongest moments often come when alien observers believe they understand humans completely, until one unexpected decision proves that they never did. IronWill HFY also explores interstellar war, ancient civilizations, lost technology, artificial intelligence, mysterious signals, and forgotten starships. But spectacle alone is never enough. A battle matters only when the audience understands what can be lost. A discovery matters only when it creates consequences. An ancient weapon is interesting not only because it is powerful, but because someone hid it for a reason. A forgotten civilization becomes compelling when the past begins affecting the present. If a human discovers ancient technology, the important questions are not simply, how does it work, but also, why was it hidden, who wants it, what happened the last time it was activated, and what if its creators are not truly gone? Discovery creates opportunity, it also creates danger. Many episodes on IronWill HFY are designed as long-form storytelling experiences, often lasting an hour or more. That is intentional. These stories are meant to unfold gradually, giving mysteries time to develop and characters time to matter. You can listen while driving, working, resting, or during a quiet evening. We think of this style as a kind of cinema for the imagination. Not every corridor, starship, alien city, or distant planet needs to be shown directly. A carefully told story gives the listener enough detail to build the universe inside their own mind. That experience is one of the great strengths of long-form science fiction storytelling. The structure of each story is also carefully considered. Long stories are difficult to balance, reveal too much too early, and the mystery disappears, wait too long, and the audience loses interest. Make the protagonist too powerful from the beginning, and danger becomes meaningless. Solve every problem too easily, and the final victory feels undeserved. We therefore build stories in layers. A central question appears early, small answers gradually emerge. Each answer creates another question. The protagonist moves closer to the truth while also moving deeper into danger. Eventually, details that once seemed unrelated begin to connect. That moment, when separate pieces suddenly reveal a larger picture, is one of the most satisfying parts of storytelling. At its core, IronWill HFY is driven by curiosity. A story may begin with something simple. An auction nobody attends, a starship nobody wants, a distress signal no one has answered, a human engineer stranded on a dying station, a vessel abandoned for hundreds of years, an alien empire convinced that humanity has already lost. Each situation contains a question. The story exists to explore the answer, but HFY should not be only about victory. Our characters can fail. They can trust the wrong person, misread a situation, repair one system while accidentally activating another, save a ship and awaken something that should have remained dormant. Mistakes create consequences, consequences create stories, and those stories ultimately lead to a larger question. What does it mean to be human? A human sees a broken machine and thinks, maybe it can still be repaired. A human sees an unexplored place and asks, what is out there? A human hears a distress signal in the darkness and wonders, does someone need help? A human faces impossible odds and sometimes chooses not to run. Science fiction magnifies those qualities by placing them against the scale of an entire galaxy, but the emotions remain deeply familiar. If you enjoy stories about abandoned starships, ancient battleships, human mechanics, alien civilizations, artificial intelligence, forgotten technology, interstellar warfare, lost civilizations, mysterious signals, impossible repairs, and civilizations that underestimate humanity, then IronWill HFY is made for you.